Welcome to the retail section of this course. I believe this is a really important space if we're going to convince the customers to shop in a very different way going forward, because I believe it's a really good place for people to understand how the clothing was actually made in that factory, who was paid a certain amount, how it was designed in that certain way, how it was dyed, what chemicals were used. We know that these are questions that consumers are going to ask more and more of in the future, and retail is going to be the prime space to answer those questions and take your customers on that journey. But beyond that, it's how can we start to offer services around repair, re-dyeing, repurposing, and also beyond that, it's about how can you offer rental services, offer services like buyback. All of that needs to take place in the retail environment, and we need to take customers on that journey. A lot of this is very new to them, but retail is a space that we can really start to convert them and build them into our stories. So from my point of view, I want to go through a couple different examples that we can show here. So this one here, so this is a fairly cut up t-shirt from some other examples, but this is a t-shirt from the North Face. And what they've actually done with this particular one is they're doing some storytelling around where do those materials and fibers come from in this particular t-shirt. What they thought was important, and they know it's important for the consumers, is the Alps. A lot of them have a lot of plastic waste in the rivers. So they work with their customers and their teams to collect the plastic waste from rivers around the Alps, and they've then turned that into a t-shirt. So again, really cool design and community project, but if the retail place is only talking about it on a tiny little hang tag, is that story really going to translate? So we need to think about how we can educate the retail teams to really engage in the storytelling and the reason why this has been designed in that particular way. But then we can think about different types of products. So this one here, so Doc Marten. Some of you might own a pair, but what they're known for significantly is all around longevity. You buy their products and you know it's going to last a serious amount of time. And in the past, they've even offered significant warranties for multiple years because they're so confident in how that's been made. But how do we tell the customer around that it's better to buy a product once, a good quality product once, than many cheaper products over time and have to potentially dispose of them because they're not repairable as well. But then we can think about repair. So what happens with our products when we break them today? Do we try and fix them ourselves? Do we go back to those brands and try and get them repaired? Maybe they don't offer those services. So here's one example of just a recent one. So when I was out hiking, I managed to tear this top part of the down jacket. Obviously all the down's now coming out of it. So that's something I can repair. But many people might actually be like, oh, too much hassle, I don't know where to go. So things like the seam allows you to find local people who can repair it in their own homes, or you can find a local business that can repair it, rather than throwing away a whole entire jacket just because there's one tear in it. So retail, again, is a really important space for flagships and also smaller stores to offer these services. Maybe not continuously, but maybe once a year, twice a year, something like this, or even create DIY how to repair videos for customers to do in their home. One of the other areas I see retail as being really pivotal if we want to help people to slow down their overconsumption of clothing is to help them to understand all the craft and the skills that go into these products at different stages. So I actually participated in a workshop with Rayburn not that long ago that helped me to really appreciate and value those skills. So in that workshop, I wouldn't say I made, but I contributed to the production of this particular product. So you can maybe work out here, it's a bag. I use this a lot on weekends already. I even used it today to bring a lot of the samples along to the filming. But this bag is actually made out of, you might be able to work it out, is parachutes, which are no longer in use because parachutes after a certain amount of time have to go out of service. So Rayburn has got many different collections using parachutes and other military decommissioned materials and repurposing them into different products. Now, repurposing is much better than recycling because we're keeping these really good quality pieces of material in circulation even longer. And once this is finished with, then it can maybe be recycled. But through doing that whole workshop, again, I really appreciated that it's really hard to cut out materials and get them aligned in certain ways. So now when I look at particularly complex products, whether it be a jacket or something like this, I really see this craft that's gone into that and I value it a lot more. And if we go back to that idea of that $5 t-shirt, £5 t-shirt, how can really someone's skills be valued, all those skills that go into that be valued when they're paid so little? So for me, again, retail is this amazing, amazing space to educate consumers around this new way of consuming, the sustainable way and a circular way with these different workshops and services. Another one that I want to show you is you see more and more brands starting to create products which have been designed in a more circular way. So certain elements have been designed so it not only lasts a long time, but it's been made so it's easier to recycle after its initial use for hopefully many, many years. So this is one particular product that you can see. The consumer uses this product. It's made entirely of one material. It's got no glue, no dye, anything like this. But from a retail point of view, consumer buys this, they use it for a long time. They might never go back to that shop. They might have to go to a different city or something like that. That all becomes quite inconvenient if the customer needs to bring that shoe back to that brand for it to be recycled or repurposed in something else. So we really need to use retail to explain the importance of why does that product need to go back to that brand so it can be recycled again rather than sent to landfill or something like that. So that one needs to go back to that particular brand because they've got a specific process to recycle that specific material. Now, it's not a perfect circular solution at all, but it just shows again how important retail is for that storytelling, building the value in terms of it's been designed in a way, use it as much as you want, but it's really important it also comes back to their specific supply chain. So overall, I think retail is a place for inspiring consumers around the storytelling of sustainability. How has it been crafted? How has it been made? How has it been designed? How we can really help customers to keep their products in circulation for as long as possible, whether it be washing them at a cooler temperature, helping them through DIY videos on how they can repurpose their products themselves or repair them themselves, and then also helping them being that facilitator to ensure that that product, once it's been used for a very long time, can either find a new home in a new consumer or could be recycled into the same product again and again.